Yes, that was the initial scope. But we could have done so much more. Take, for example, the possibilities of re-socializing criminals by altering the experiences that led to their corruption. But why not go even further? Why should we limit ourselves to thinking only about altering the past? Why not be able to influence the future?
We've almost made it. How are you doing? I'm trying not to think about it. Focus on the job. I almost envy those bastards that ran away. At least they know the shit that's gonna hit them. Or maybe I just wish we were all together in this, you know? I should look for the rebels. Who knows where they went? FYI, looks like we're running low on repair kits.
Take care of this yacht?
close now?
What's happening to me? Those rocks, they're shaped like trees. What are they really? Tire tracks. It must be the Tur vehicle. At least I know which way they went. this now?
Lucas?
Jan? Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm calling with some good news. I managed to build another Rapidium arc.
Wow! Really? That's awesome. I know it might seem boring to you, but I really believe Rapidium can change things. You know? It wasn't always like this. I used to think it was all a big scam, an easy way for corporations to patch their post-crisis budgets with public money.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was true, and my discovery was something they never planned.
Planned or not, it raised my hopes back up. I started believing again that things can change. Look, I never tell this to anybody, but you should know that back home, my older brother is doing time.
In prison? Seriously?
Yeah. You know how they always catch the little fish? My brother was a good kid, but he was unlucky. Our parents couldn't afford a higher education for us. He had to work, support the family. And where I come from, well, not too many options who you can work for, if you know what I mean. I was lucky. I met Maxwell. He paid my tuition fees.
That really is sad for your brother, but I believe that there's no such thing as no choice.
Of course. He could have let his kids starve. My family used to live off the land, but after water became a luxury, that was no longer possible. And with no education or rich relatives, trust me, alternatives were thin. I'm telling you, I was that close from ending up like him. If it weren't for Maxwell, my grandma says it was a miracle.
How did Maxwell find you?
Simple. He was looking for promising students. And I'd just taken part in a science Olympiad in my country. I had a good result. Very good, actually. And my topic was quantum algorithms. Call it what you want. Destiny. Pure chance. Fact is, Maxwell was going through a tough time in his life too. But that's a whole different story for some other time, maybe.
It was good talking to you.
You too. Good luck. And keep it up, okay? More arcs really could mean a better world. I'll send it out.
Hello?
Jan? What a relief. We thought we'd lost you.
Yeah, so did I. The base got caught in a huge sandstorm. And I lost part of my crew.
What? Your altars? How could you let that happen?
Simple. I let you sweet-talk me into all that biological vessel business. Unfortunately, they had a problem with it. So, they decided to go their own way.
You mean they ran away? And they're exposed to radiation?
They took the exploration vehicle. And some supplies.
Tell me not all of them left?
No. Why?
The ship is close, Jan. You have to be ready for the arrival of the rescue team.
Ready? How?
They can't find out about your altars.
What? Wait a minute. Aren't you the head of mining operations? Aren't these your people?
They might answer to me, but their paychecks are signed by Ally Corp. And if you confront them with your altars, they will have to react. The board will not tolerate anything that could cast even the slightest shadow on the legitimacy of this operation. And the rescue team is on their leash. Do I have to spell it out to you? They will have your altars killed.
What? Killed? What kind of a rescue team are they?
They're a special ops unit. Military men.
You could have told me earlier.
Please, Jan. You always knew their primary mission was to escort the most precious cargo mankind has ever seen. Did you really expect them to arrive unarmed?
So you lied to me. That you'd prepare them.
I told you I'd test the waters, and that's what I did. But there is a lot of pressure on your success, Jan. A lot of anxiety amongst the top management. They can sense the vultures hovering around them, waiting for any sign of a slip-up. And they won't let them smell blood. They won't expose themselves.
So what exactly is your plan?
The rescue team will arrive shortly before sunrise. You have time until then to come up with a way to smuggle your altars on board. In the meantime, you need to keep collecting Rapidium.
Yeah, sure. Once we take off, what happens then?
You will all go into cryosleep, and as the ship approaches Earth, Lucas will take remote control over it and modify the coordinates. The ship will land in a secluded location I've been preparing.
And what about the crew?
They'll be in cryosleep during the landing. And by the time they wake up, we will be far away. I have a lab ready, and a guarantee of immunity from people who understand. I'm moving operations to a more science-friendly region, somewhere Ally Corp won't get to us. And, most importantly, where nobody will ever find your altars.
You're putting them in a lab?
I won't sugarcoat it. We've come too far together for that. If you wanted to hate me, I probably gave you enough reasons by now. Truth is, when I first heard about you, your situation, well, I'd be lying if I said it all came together immediately. On the contrary, I didn't hope for much. An accidental castaway with no qualifications, all alone, burdened with such a responsible task. But when Lucas told me you did it, you created your altar and managed to convince him to cooperate with you, I couldn't help but fantasize about where this could go. Can't you see? I've been waiting for something like this ever since they shut down Project Ela.
You never stop dreaming about reviving it.
You wouldn't be so surprised if you knew what we could achieve.
Lucas told me you wanted to help war veterans, patients with PTSD.
Yes, that was the initial scope. But we could have done so much more. But take, for example, the possibilities of re-socializing criminals by altering the experiences that led to their corruption. But why not go even further? Why should we limit ourselves to thinking only about altering the past? Why not be able to influence the future?
What? How?
The Tree of Life. You've seen yours, but it's just a projection, a rudimentary interface. Think about it. What if it was no interface, but an integrated part of the human mind, allowing us to live our lives exactly the way we should?
The way we should? What? You mean, make the right decisions?
Exactly. The human cognitive system enhanced in a way evolution failed to do in millions of years.
Wow, that's amazing.
More than that. Imagine a world where nobody ever takes the wrong turn. Children are never harmed. There are no court misrulings because there is no crime. Greedy and corrupt individuals never come to power, and because of that, wars never break out. Can you see now why your success meant so much to me? Do you not understand that giving Rapidium away for any other purpose would mean robbing humanity of its biggest evolutionary leap since we crawled out of the primordial soup? Do you still think there is a better purpose for your altars than to contribute to all that?
I'm not their owner. They're people in their own rights. I can't decide their fate for them.
That's very noble. But in a way, you've already done that when you created them. Look, all I'm asking is several weeks in a lab where I can run some tests on them, collect data, and prepare for the bigger leap.
And then what? You let them walk free?
You know I can't do that. It would be too risky for both of us and for them. But I could guarantee them a comfortable life. They would be hidden from the eyes of the world.
Imprisoned.
The only alternative for them is to be disposed of by the corporation, like waste. I think you need to take a breath. There's a lot to think about. How to smuggle your alters aboard that ship, for one. But first, you have to guide their navigator to your exact position. They'll need you to mark the spot with a beacon. Start with that, and then I trust you'll figure out what to do next.
Yeah. Sure. By the way, I wasn't an accidental survivor.
What do you mean?
The quantum computer chose me. Seems I was the one who had the biggest chance of making it.
Well, doesn't that just prove my point? We are capable of so much more than we think, Jan. All we need to do is open the door and let that potential in. You'll hear from me again before the ship lands. Good luck, Jan.
Well, they have the TERS, some basic supplies. Maybe they thought this through.
We're almost there. You handling the pressure well? Pressure? Come on, man, be serious. It makes no difference to me if we make it or not. There's no future for me or any of us once we get off this planet. Except for you, so the pressure's on you. I thought you'd like to know that I ran into a completely new kind of anomaly. First thing that came to my mind was that it's some sort of a prism distortion.
Really? What gave you that thought?
Well, it behaved as if the reality around me suddenly split up into many different fragments.
Wise of you to bring it to me. Any observations on interaction?
Well, it didn't seem to do anything specific to me physically. No radiation. But it sure was messing with my brain. Felt as if I was in several different places at once.
In a way, you might have been.
Huh? You mean?
Remember how I told you that anomalies are places where our world intersects with the interworld? Well, what you're describing suggests a distortion in which it comes into contact with not one, but many proximity planes. Entering it is likely to evoke a sensation of being in several parallel realities at the same time. Calling it a prism is accurate, because it refracts your consciousness into many simultaneous states.
Neat. Who needs altering, huh?
Take it easy. It's just a sensation. You'd best not spend too much time inside them. Plus, I suppose it must make exploration very inconvenient.
Can I destroy them like the others?
It should be possible. You just need to locate all of its cores and take them down one by one.
All right. Thanks for the tip.
here must have been a nightmare.
How does it work?
Seriously, what was he
You
thinking,
explain
leaving
these
the
subjects
base
you're working
like
on
that?
to the duck. I know it sounds silly, but it really helps.
Hey man, what's with the long face?
Well, you know, let's just call it seasonal blues. It'll pass.
Can I cheer you up somehow?
What do you normally do when you're sad?
Let me think. Silly animal videos always make me laugh.
Like the old saying, laughter is the best medicine.
Ancient wisdom. Sometimes the simplest solutions are the best, don't you think? Light. I need to get there.
dangerous now?
Another movie. This one was actually on my pile of shame. Would you look at that? I found my Boy Scout badge. Go Fierce Ocelots.
Should I use this now?
should go to the park module yard. It's really great. You wanted to talk about something?
Yeah. Thanks for checking up on me. I know you're dealing with a lot.
Yeah, so, why don't you cut to the chase already?
Sure, yeah, it's not that easy to say. I'm not used to doing so much thinking as I've been doing lately.
You really needed to sort some things out for yourself.
You helped me a heap with that. All I wanted to do was punish myself with all that extra work. I've wasted so much time, not doing a single damn thing for myself. And now, who knows what's gonna happen to me? What if this is it? This is all the time I had.
I see. You're afraid you're gonna die.
Yeah. No use pretending. I'm scared as shit. But I can take it. I don't need you to cry over me.
So, what's your request?
Well, remember our art teacher at school and how he taught us to carve in wood?
I guess I might.
Not really? Well, I do. We were really good at doing it. The best in class. But what matters more, we loved doing it. I loved doing it. Just for myself. After I lost my hand, I started remembering it. Obsessing over it, even. Of all the things I wouldn't be able to do, that one stuck in my head like a fucking nail.
It's normal. You were grieving.
I was miserable as sin. And then when you gave me that new arm up here, you'd think going back to something that made me happy would be obvious, right? Wrong. I wasn't interested in enjoying myself. Well, now I want to change that.
You want to do something just for yourself. I get that.
In a way, yeah. But there's something else. It's way more important.
Oh. A secret project?
I really don't want to talk about it right now, okay?
And where the hell are you gonna get wood?
Well, you seen those tree-like structures in this region? They ain't made of wood, but they sure behave very much like it. I already did a test or two. They're harder, tougher, but so am I, right?
You want to carve that?
If you happen to run into some loose pieces of that rock, yeah, I could give it a try. Of course, I'm gonna need a set of chisels, too.
Okay. I'll keep your request in mind and see what I can do.
Thanks, man.
But you're gonna have to tell me what that secret project's about.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you enjoyed this video, then consider liking and subscribing, and we will see you on the next one. Bye for now, guys.